All right, today we're diving into a piece of tech that's making some serious waves for creators, hobbyists, and small business owners alike. It's the AlgoLaser Delta 40W. So what's all the hype really about?
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for a project? I mean, you can see it perfectly in your mind, only to have your tools completely let you down. It's one of the most frustrating feelings out there, and I think a lot of us know it well.
And that frustration? It usually comes from a few familiar places, right? You get inconsistent results that just ruin a piece, or the machine moves at a snail's pace, the cuts aren't quite clean, or maybe it's that feeling of being physically chained to a computer for every single job. Or worse, feeling stuck because your machine can only handle one or two types of material.
Let's just call this what it is, the frustrated creator's problem. This isn't just a small hiccup, it's a real wall that stands between a creative vision and a finished product.
And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the issue. Your imagination can go anywhere, but when your tools can't keep up, it just crushes even the best ideas. It's that moment when you know your project could be amazing, but your equipment is holding it back.
But what if a tool was actually designed to tear down those walls? Well, that brings us to what's being called a new smart solution, the AlgoLaser Delta 40W.
Now, the term they use for this is a smart printer. So what on earth does that mean? Well, the idea is to take all the complicated, tricky parts of laser work and make the whole thing as simple as hitting print on a Word doc. That's a pretty bold claim.
And they're not shy about it either. The quote here says it all. This isn't just another machine. It's a game changer. It's designed to set your creativity free and help you get pro-level results right from your own workshop. So what's the magic trick? What actually makes it a game changer? So, what makes it so smart? Well, it really boils down to three big ideas: power, precision, and freedom. Let's break down what each of those really means for you.
First up, let's talk about power. It all starts with this number, 40 watts. That's the power of the laser module at the core of this machine. But, what does that number actually do?
In a word, capability. All that power means super fast engraving speeds and, this is the big one, the strength to make clean cuts through thicker materials in a single pass. Just imagine slicing right through a piece of wood or thick acrylic in one go. That's the kind of power we're talking about.
Okay, next up is precision, and this is where things get really, really interesting. This all comes from an integrated smart camera system, and it seems to be what elevates this machine from good to great.
And this shows you the difference perfectly. The old way, it's just a guessing game, right? You're trying to line things up by hand, wasting materials, making costly mistakes. But with the smart camera, you get a live visual of your project. You see exactly where the design is going to land, and you can even spot errors before they happen. No more guesswork.
This quote just nails it. Precision has never been this accessible. It's all about taking something that used to take tons of practice and trial and error and making it easy enough for just about anyone to get right.
And that brings us to our final pillar, freedom. This is a huge deal for anyone who's felt trapped by their setup. The Delta 40W can operate completely offline.
And again, just look at the difference. The traditional way means you're literally tethered to a computer, wires everywhere, and you're limited on where you can even put the machine. But with the offline workflow, you just transfer your design and that's it. The machine works all by itself. You can put it in the garage, the basement, wherever you want. You're free.
So, you've got power, precision, and freedom. Awesome. But what can you actually make with all that? Let's talk about the versatility here, because this machine is built to handle way more than just wood. This table gives you a pretty good idea. For wood, you can get those incredibly detailed, pro-level carvings. On acrylic, you can create signs with perfectly clean, precise cuts. It even works on glass, letting you do elegant etching with what the source calls remarkable finesse. The door just swings wide open on what materials you can use. So, when you add it all up, the power, the smart features, the material options, what's the real value here for a creator? What does this actually mean for the way we make things? Well, it really boils down to three main benefits. First, you save time and you stop wasting materials, thanks to that smart camera. Second, you'll unlock new creative possibilities because you can work with so many different things. And third, you just raise the bar on quality. Everything you make starts to look more professional.
At the end of the day, this isn't just about the machine. It's about empowering your potential. It doesn't matter if you're trying to grow a business or you're just crafting for the love of it. The goal seems to be making the whole creative process easier, smoother, and more rewarding.
Which leaves us with one last, and maybe the most important question of all. If you had a tool that removed all the old frustrations, one that gave you the power, the precision, and the freedom to create without compromise, what would you create?